So there's a prospect in the Yankees system that has been slowly coming up through the system. Somebody completely, my little one, somebody completely unheralded. He was signed as an international free agent in 2018, excuse me. His name's Randy Vasquez. You may not have even heard of him, but he's gone from an unheralded, unheard of international prospect to one of the best pitching prospects in the Yankees system now. And one of the reasons why it's so significant is because he's drawing a lot of comparisons to Luis Gil. Now, they haven't decided whether he's going to be a starter or reliever, but he has a lot of the same characteristics as Gil. The big arm, good command, the strike zone, poise, got a lot of stuff. He's got a lot of move, and he actually also has the highest curveball spin rate in the entire Yankees organization, minor and major leagues. So that is pretty significant. They signed him as an international free agent in 2018 for $10,000. So, not knowing whether it was going to pan out or not, but he's one of the international signings that the Yankees always make, and they have made some good ones. And he's kind of slowly gone from B-ball to low A and he stayed around low A to mid A to high A and stuff. And this year he's kind of shot up the system a little bit. He's gone from high A and he's been promoted to double A now. In Somerset. In high A, just to get a little perspective, he had 53 strikeouts in 36 innings pitched in high A. Ever since he's been moved up to double A this year, he's got a 2.74 ERA, 23 innings pitched, and 38 strikeouts, and only 5 walks. So he's got really, really good command. But it also shows that the results are also climbing with his promotions, and that's a significant observation. It's a significant thing to point out because a lot of times people need a significant adjustment period. And this guy also, he was down low A early this season with Volpe and Jasson Dominguez and Austin Wells, and he's shooting up pretty quickly. And with the issues that the Yankees have had in pitching, developing pitching recently, this stands out to me as a significant breakthrough because he's made big strides this year. And again, drawing comparisons already to Luis Gil, who is one of the guys that the Yankees really have their eye on in terms of potentially being in the rotation moving forward. This kid Randy Vasquez could be someone else, and if he keeps progressing the way that Gil progressed and the way he's just progressing now, the Yankees might have a mainstay, whether it's the rotation or the bullpen. Now, I will point out it's important to remember that him and Gil, they're young at 20, 21, 22 years old, so they're still young developing pitchers, but he's now made it pretty much essential or mandatory for the Yankees to protect him in the Rule 5 draft. So he's gone from somebody who didn't know anything, but now the Yankees are going to have to protect this kid in the draft. So that's significant, meaning they're not going to want to let him go because he's one of these guys who's shooting up the system in a way that's very quiet. But who knew about Luis Gil a year ago, right? This is the same type of thing that we're seeing here, the same type of progression we're seeing here. So, and it's good to hear this stuff with the Yankees' embarrassing performance over the last, batch of games. 2 and 11 now over the last 13 games, which is pitiful. So, any batch of good news, I definitely want to point out. So, and share with you guys. So, I think this is an important, name to keep in mind. Another good Yankees pitching prospect. And He's a big dude. He looks like Gil. He's big. He's physically imposing. He's got a good arm. He's got good command of the strike zone. He's very, very. He looks pretty polished already. So, I wanted to share this with you so that And then one other batch of good news: the season 2000, when the Yankees won the World Series against the Mets, their last 13 games of the season were worse than the 13 games that the Yankees just went through. So, something to keep in mind. The Yankees sucked at the end of the season then, and they still turned it around to win the World Series. I'm not saying they're going to do the same this year, but anything's possible. They can turn it around and make a run here. So, I'm keeping that hope. I'm not banking on it, but, there is hope. And freaking Boston and Toronto lost yesterday, so, the Yankees are striking. The Yankees are striking gold and getting lucky every opportunity, even though they're playing terribly. So at some point they need to start taking advantage of these breaks that they're getting and hopefully start playing better baseball. So because they really need it right now. But Randy Vasquez, another bright spot in the organization, something to look at and just keep an eye out for. Gil and some of these other kids, while the Volpes and the Perazas of the world keep progressing. On the offensive side, the Yankees have been stronger in the offensive position player guys in the system, and it's nice to see some pitchers kind of progressing and moving up. And again, it's always nice to see the results progress along with the promotions. That doesn't always happen, so keep an eye on this guy.